Not the most exciting to watch, I will be honest, but it's really good for your chess. I think if you are trying to improve your chess, you want to play slow games. You want to play the longer the better, really, so you can think as deeply as you can into the position. So that will be what I'll be trying to do today. I'm just going to play 15-10. It's quite a good time control. I like it. I'm reasonably strong in it. 1737 at the moment. Hopefully, might be able to make the 1750 mark. I am trying to grind my way to 1800, so I would like to see some good games. Full concentration from me is required with rapid though, so I have to be careful not to get too distracted and to make any mistakes, because small positional errors are big problems in rapid chess. You have to play everything as well as you can. Right, 1883, that's a tough opponent. See if we can make something happen. So I'm surprised that my opponent gave away the bishop here so quickly. The trick is, with these pawns looking at each other on c4 and d5, these double pawns aren't really an issue. I would have liked to get in rook c1 to capture the knight with the rook. It's far better, but I will survive. Going to play e3. It releases the bishop just in case he takes next turn, and stops any tricky business with him trying to hang on to the pawn. Okay, so I'm looking at a couple of moves here. Bishop d3 seems logical, putting a bit of pressure on this diagonal. Also, I'm looking at a4, a5. I'm just trying to calculate if it's just too slow. My reasoning is I don't want this knight to come to c4. Okay, and he can at the moment. If he chooses to, he can come to c4. If bishop takes c4, pawn takes c4, he can support the pawn with b5. Another couple of candidate moves as well, so I can play c4 in this position. Pawn takes, and I can even go as far as bishop takes, and after knight takes, queen has check. Either defense to the check, and you can win the knight that way. Which probably isn't a bad way to play, because then the queen is on the diagonal, but I lose my light squared bishop, and as you can see, I can see the weaknesses on the light squares. I would far prefer to have the light squared bishop in this game than the dark squared bishop. So it's important to develop a plan. You see all my pieces are on dark squares. I'm happy to trade off the dark squared bishop if it comes to it, but I do not want to trade off this light squared bishop if I can avoid it. That's not to say that it won't happen. There's a fair chance that it will. Right, then the other candidate move is h3. h3 I really like playing in these positions, and I may play it yet. So again, it's quite a slow move, but it does a lot. It stops the knight from ever coming into g4. it stops this bishop from pinning my knight to the queen, which is important because that is probably his next move, if not castle short. And it also, if he comes and tries to attack me on the king side, which he may do with h6, g5, pushing my bishop back, I can actually escape the bishop onto h2 and have this long diagonal, which might become quite important in the later stages of the game. So that's actually the move I'm going to play. I'm going to play h3. See, and it's already forced my opponent to do something he doesn't really want. This bishop is not a pretty piece. I'm looking at a big pawn here. Where my bishop, now that I can move it to d3 unchallenged, is a monster piece. You see all these light squares. It's a very good piece. I'm expecting castle short and castle short. Alright, so I've reached a very familiar position to me. All pretty standard. So I think it's time to bring in the queen. So we've done our basic development. We've developed our minor pieces. We've got a pawn structure that I'm very familiar with. Eventually I am going to want to play for c4 and try and get an attack on the queen side if I can. Sometimes I do swing attacks on the king side. It's important to be flexible when playing chess, but the queen side generally in any queen's opening is where you're going to focus your attack, and black's going to try and attack you on the king side. And you see these pawns, you always attack in the direction that your pawns are going, so you see this is where black wants to attack, and white, it's a lot easier for white to play these moves and start getting an attack down this direction. So there's a couple of things. Got a semi-open file, which is good for us. I actually really like this position, so I'm going to go ahead and play c2, queen c2 rather, and attack on this diagonal. So it's going to force black to make a move. That move will be, h6 in the position. So I can come back here, and I'm quite comfortable coming back because we've still got pressure on this knight, and there's no real quick way to relieve it without creating weaknesses. Yeah, so here he goes. So he's rerouting his knight, and he's preparing to move his queen into the game. So likely queen squares is pretty much c7 or b7. So let's be proactive about things. Proactive meaning let's do something before our opponent can, and let's swing the rook over. Let's play rook a b1. So let's stop this queen from coming in to this b6 square. And if the queen pops on to d7, I'm going to play bishop g3, which is quite often a transition I make, and attack that queen straight away. And that's sort of the level that is required in these rapid games. If you want to play well in rapid, you need to be thinking really deeply in a position. So you can't just be thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to play this move. You need to be thinking as many steps ahead as you can so you can play the best moves as you possibly can. The bishop seems fine on h4. I'm going to swing the rook over to c1 because I expect this file to open as well. So I don't see any easy breaks for black. He may try and come up the board. I welcome it. He's absolutely welcome to. I am happy with him opening squares up around his king. If you want to checkmate your opponent, it's a lot easier when their king is open and weak. But yeah, you see again, white preparing to attack on the king side. Hello, edible animals. Welcome to the stream, mate. Great name, by the way. Not quite sure what to expect from my opponent here. Maybe he starts coming forward on the queen side himself. Maybe he pushes with g5. At the moment, he can make that decision. I'm quite comfortable in my position. If at any stage in this game I can trade my knight for this light squared bishop, I will be feeling really good. So this bishop is very powerful. This bishop is terrible. I understand that, but in the future that bishop is going to be the best defense against this bishop. Question in the chat, how do I get above 1000? Okay, there's no real one answer for that, I don't think. I think the best way to improve at that level is, do you know any opening theory? As in, do you play a set move set as white in the beginning of the game and set replies as black in the beginning of the game? I'm going to take space on the queen side. Yes, that is absolutely something you need to do. So it's incredibly important actually to do so. So I would suggest searching some openings. If you've got a pen and paper on you, the Rui Lopez as white is really strong. And it's really tricky as well. It depends what sort of opening player you are. I play a lot of Queen's Gambit lines with d4, c4. So if you plan on watching the stream, maybe looking up the Queen's Gambit's a good one, because you'll see me in a lot of these positions. You like the Italian? Okay, the Italian's really good, man. Very similar to a Rui Lopez and very aggressive. Yeah, attacking on f7 is always a massive advantage. Well, if you so do you play the Italian? Because that's fine. Excellent. And what about as black? Do you have set replies? What do you play, say, if against 1e4? You play e5 lines. Okay, yep. So if you've got openings, obviously, yeah, search your opening theories and practice those. The next one is tactics. I don't know if you're on chess.com or Lead Chess, but I would strongly consider all the tactics training that you can give yourself to try and make yourself as strong as possible. Yeah, the London system for white's quite good. I've used it in the past. I do like it because it leaves the possibilities to attack either side of the board. Okay, you got to watch knights. Knights can be incredibly tricky. Do I recommend puzzles? Absolutely recommend puzzles. You have to play all the puzzles you can play. Rip. Puzzles are fantastic for your chess. So if I go here, damn, I did not see that I was blundering that pawn. I should have played Queen A2, defending the pawn and getting out of danger. See, this is what I was talking about. A little bit of distraction, and it's very difficult in a rapid game to come back. If you were to improve in the shortest amount of time. So I think you just have to play definitely puzzles, simple 1-2 move tactics, because they're going to come up a lot in 1000 rated games. People are going to make mistakes, and you need to be able to capitalize on those mistakes. I also think slow games are really good. So you want to be playing rapid games like I am now, slow ones where you have a lot of time to think, because you get used to the positions. It's hard to learn in blitz. It's very easy to learn in other time controls. Yeah, I'm in trouble here. This is really hard to play. But yeah, so play your puzzles, 1-2 move tactics, and play slow games to try and play every move as best as you can, and you should do fine, mate. You have some really good success, I think. try reroute and see if I can put some pressure on this knight. I assume the knight's going to want to naturally come here anyway. Trying to get black to open some weaknesses here that I can try and exploit now all my pieces are on the queen side. I do need to be careful that he doesn't muster an attack on the queen side really quickly. Probably the most concerning moves, something like queen d3, trying to bring in this knight. Yeah, so he's going to try and swing his rook over now. He may get a very quick mating attack on me here. I've got to be careful of moves like this. G'day, Sam. Oh, I just lost my rook. Well, that's a resignation. Not a fantastic way to start, but very tough opponent. Small advantages turn into big ones. You know, you get put under pressure very quickly. It's no good. That was good tactic by my opponent. Alright, we've got the white pieces again, so if you're still in the chat, Edible Animals, this is the sort of opening I like. I like slow positional games. So I assume he'll strike with d5 sometime soon. Okay, this happens a lot. I'm going to play queen d2. It's quite a popular move these days. So you're defending the knight that is pinning that is pinned by the bishop. And in turn, I'm going to go ahead and continue to stick with this bishop g5, pinning his knight in turn. So the bishop can't come into the the knight can't come into the e4 square, which would be building up an attack on this knight. You have to be careful. This pin is an absolute pin. I cannot move that knight. It is illegal. Okay, I've played e4. My opponent wants to play bishop b7 and I down here, where I won't be able to develop the knight or the bishop that easily. So I'm going to take control of the center, hold all these nice big central squares as best I can. So we just retreat. We can come back to g3 if he continues to push, which I don't think it's a good idea for him to continue to push. How's your chess going, Sam? Would you be interested in a game against my friend Blindfolded for some more practice for him? Okay, so I'm going to play e4 here. My reasoning behind that is this knight's only got a couple. Oh, he's only got one good square to go to. So the knight's going to check. And that's an easy game. What's the plan here? So my plan here was to attack on the king side. So I was going to bring my knight out eventually, castle, and full send an attack on the king side. Just use this spatial advantage that I've got to create some attack on the king. Swinging this rook over. Eventually this is going to open up. So you're keen, Sam? Okay, so I'll talk to him, and then what if c5? Yes, a c5 is definitely what you're playing for as black. I do think it's a little slow. Yep, it's fine if he undermines the center. But you do have to do something as black, and that's probably a very good option. Okay, we've got the same opponent. Okay, so he hasn't taken control of the center, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I'm just going to play a quick development. Generally I like my bishop on d6, but in this particular position with the fianchettoed bishop, sometimes it's a lot better to have it on e6, because I don't know about everyone else in the chat, you may play differently, but quite often when I come across this fianchettoed position, I am rolling this h-pawn to attack. So my opponent's create a hook in the position where if I get a pawn and pop it on h4, he has to do something about it. I don't actually know what the coal system is. It's just a King's Indian from white. I'll search that up after and I'll have a look. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I can take this pawn. There's no bishop to quickly come in and grab it back. I do have to be careful. I cannot play b5 in the position because this discovered attack somehow will screw me and take the rook. And I'm sure that every player in here has lost their rook at some stage to a fianchettoed bishop. Yep, Catalan. It is a Catalan. Do you get this quite a bit? Okay. What are some of the ideas as white? My main trouble is this bishop's pretty bad, and I have to be careful developing it. Knight e5. Oh, for him? Yeah, for sure, that's fine. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. Knight e5 does make a lot of sense. It's hard for me to kick the knight off e5. Okay, so the queen is going to come capture my pawn. I'm not too keen on trying to stop that. I have to develop my queen side. This is pretty bad development. My opponent is the same, so that is helpful. My gut kind of tells me that I can play b5. Because if the knight comes down, I think I have c6. No, it's two attackers. I don't have c6. Okay. So I'll leave that pawn b. It's going to take him a minute to capture it anyway. And I might play for a tempo on the queen. So I'll say, yes, you can capture my pawn. I'm going to bring the knight and attack your queen. Now again, I need to get this bishop out. How do I support that? Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should have played bishop d6 so I can somehow put some pressure on the e5 square. If I play knight d5, I think I'm going to run straight into e4, and this attack's going to come rolling pretty quick. Okay, I'm going to play c6. I'm going to play c6, which definitely does lock in this bishop, and I think that'll be the game. If I can manage to get this bishop out, I should be fine. If I can't, it is going to be a very difficult battle for me. I'll probably play something like bishop d7 and then swing the rook over to x-ray this queen. A tough one. Wondering if I can play c5. Not quite. Can't quite play it. I'll play rook c8 first, and then I'm going to try and play for c5. Which was probably, it is poor play by me playing c6, c5. But this has come really quick. White has a great position. I would take white all day. Okay, queen c7. Stops any funny business on the b7 square with this bishop on this diagonal. It also puts more pressure on this queen, and it's encourages knight takes d7, getting rid of one of white's best pieces in my opinion, which was the e5 square. Actually, I think it was white's best piece for my worst piece, which was the bishop on d7 with no squares. So that's a fantastic trade for me. Okay, so he's trying to defend c5. I still kind of want to play it. If I play c5, takes, 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 it's on the board. I'm assuming one of the rooks will swing over to d1. That's what I would play in this position. Similar idea to me x-raying this queen, he x-rays mine. So now rook a d1 is probably what I'll play. Okay, he plays the other way. I'm going to put more pressure here. I think black sort of turned it around now. It's still a very even game, but it's a lot better of a position than I was in. Okay, a6, a little bit of a slow move, but I don't want this knight coming in too quickly. If the knight comes here, I can come threaten the queen. But I can't threaten the queen if he's going to take my queen first. Well, I probably could in this position, but there's going to be lots of positions that I can't. Okay, let's double attack this pawn. I know it's defended by the knight at the moment. See what happens. Oof. It's worse than I thought, actually. That's a really good move by my opponent. Trouble is, if I play here, he can play e5, and when I play knight d5, which will be the only escape square, bishop can take, pawn takes, and then rook takes. Why couldn't he play e5? Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, he can't play e5. Very observant of you. Oh, that's a bit cheating. I probably shouldn't do that, but you did, right? He cannot play e5 because both the queen and the knight then defend it, which means I'm going to have time to reroute. Yeah, you're very good. You're a good chess player. See why you gave me so much stress in our game. Okay. So he is going for it. Okay, I'm going to play e5. I'm going to stop his threat of e5. If I was him, I'd probably be looking maybe at f5, but he doesn't need to play it because I can't really take the pawn. After g takes f, I still have these two pawns to deal with as he's steamrolling down the board. This also blocks in his bishop. He could swing his bishop. Okay, he guards from the check. The check wasn't threatening anything at the moment, but it definitely could at a later stage. Okay, I'm gonna put some more defense on the e5 pawn, and I'm also indirectly attacking the e4 pawn. So if at some stage I do get in e takes f4, then I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3 attackers at the moment. He does have 1, 2, 3 defenders, but that could change at any stage. Trying to work out what to do with this knight on d7. It's a pretty weak piece. This bishop's quite easy to open up too, so when he does that I'm going to have to deal with this d7 knight. I want to develop it to c5 and continue to attack here, but I can't do that because it drops the rook. Very complicated position. Okay, I better be careful, but I think I have knight c5 here. I think that's sort of the answer to all my problems. Maybe he's going to reroute. Something like this would be pretty good for me. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Knight c5. I'm attacking the d3 rook. I do need to be careful because this rook is undefended at the moment. So I have to remember that. We'll see what my opponent plays. I think maybe he plays rook e3. But then that also comes with its own issues because that rook is very stuck on e3. So I might be able to find a way to attack it. Yeah, he may play knight d5. I'm going to continue with my... Oh, I see what you're saying. He plays knight d5, attacking the queen. No, but I can take. No, it's fine, it's fine. Right, I'm attacking this queen. I do have to be careful because after pawn takes, this knight's sort of hanging. But knights are notoriously tricky, and my opponent has to play well here, otherwise he could find himself in all manner of trouble. Right, I'm going to attack his rook. He may play knight d5 now. My plan is I'm attacking this rook, and if this rook slides back, I'm going to come in to f2, and I'm going to fork his queen and his rook. Again, this is quite undefended, so I do have to be careful. Okay, so Knight takes. If queen takes, I can even shuffle the rook over. I'm going to take it. Put some material in the bank. Thinking queen takes. He may play knight takes, but I don't think that's the right move by him because this is a huge outpost. So I could play h5, solidifying the knight, and then push c5 and see if I can even come and try and make a checkmating threat. I also don't hate, it's a slow move, but just playing the knight back. My reasoning behind it is this outpost, this knight on d5 is monster. It's better than any of the rooks that are on the board. Maybe actually this d1 rook's looking pretty good. So now my main job is to try and strip the pieces off the board, make it as uncomplicated as I can, because at the moment it's a very complicated game. There's still many threats. There's still a lot either of us can do. So now it's my job to try and deal with that. Getting rid of this rook would be a really good start. Unfortunately, I can't play rook d8. Sorry, I almost said rook d1. Unfortunately, I can't play rook d8 because after rook takes, queen takes, then my rook is hanging. This pawn's been hanging for a long time too. Okay, so I'm not going to mess around with that. I'm just going to take. It does give him a pass pawn, that's fine. And then I'm going to... Am I? Okay, I'm going to come through in the queen, force her to go to a different square. Can't take. I really want it off this file if I can. If at any time the queen's not attacking this rook, I will play queen d6, which seems like a little bit of a slow move and the computer might hate it. I don't know. We probably should analyze this one afterwards because it's a really good game. Oh, that actually, to edible animals, if you're still in the chat, man, analyzing your games is huge. I didn't even think about that, but I would not be the same rating I am now if I didn't analyze my game. So very important, particularly your slow games. And if you get smashed in a game, you know, you lose the game or you have a losing position in the first 10 moves, analyze that shit. See what the computer says for you to do, and learn it. So if that position comes up again, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I remember this position. I need to play here, here, and here so I don't get checkmated on move 11. And it happens. Oh, don't you? It's really, really good. It's really good. Yeah, you don't have to analyze every game. I don't analyze any bullet, for example, because I mean you just play and moves as quick as you can. And bullet, I play 1 minute, so it's really fast. Blitz, you can learn a lot in blitz, especially early mistakes. But your rapid games, I suggest analyzing every rapid game. Now I don't do it on stream because it's pretty boring. But I was not long ago 1500 rapid, and I made a point of playing all the rapid I could. Um, I'm just wondering if I can take the pawn. Oh no, because then he takes. Hmm. And then he's threatening bishop. Hmm. Clever move by my opponent. To say rook takes queen, pawn takes queen. Can I not just play the rook back? Yeah, I think I can. Rook takes queen, pawn takes queen, rook back, bishop takes pawn, then I think I can just swing back and take this pawn. Bishop takes pawn, rook a7, threatening the bishop and then indirectly threatening the queen. Yeah, this seems fine. Seems fine. If I'm wrong, well played by my opponent. Oh, actually, I can see the problem already. No, it doesn't work. Rook d8 gets met with king f8, and then if he promotes, I just take. Then he takes and I take. And if rook d8 king f8, he takes with check, I can take, and then I think I cover it. I don't know. It's tough. It's he's made it really complicated, and that's exactly what you should do. I say it all the time, but if you're losing, make it as complicated as possible. If you're winning, try and simplify the position. So I believe I'm winning this pawn no matter what. I think bishop b7 is probably the move the computer wants. And we'll play a bishop versus rook endgame. And although those are very drawable, I don't think it will be a draw. So we play here. This is forced, I believe. Yep. He goes here. He takes the pawn. Now oh, he's got check. Oh, actually, it's a little scary. Okay, let's do the same thing. He's going to play check. I very well could lose this game. I'm going to press up, and I believe he'll play a6 or maybe even better b4. Plays a6, okay. And now I'm going to play e4 and create my own pass pawn. It is on a light square though, which is slightly concerning. Okay. Now trying to stick on dark squares, I'm going to come and attempt to attack this bishop. So he really needs to play b4 here. I don't really want everything on light squares. Mind you, the rook will guard. Yeah, okay, I am going to play this. The rook's going to do a good job guarding the bottom of the pawn chain. Tough, very, 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 very hard position to play. Important to note that when you have a majority on one side, and in this case I've got no pawns on the queen side, but you have a minority on the opposite side, press the pawns on the side that you have the advantage. You want to get these pawns as close to these squares as possible so you can force a promotion or force loss of material. That's my understanding from what I know. That seems to be the best way. Don't get caught up if he's got 3 pawns here, you've got 2 pawns. Pressing pawns is not the play. Okay, I believe I can take this. And after takes, why can't I run my pawns? Because this rook can deal with so much. Okay, check here. Maybe here's better. And then when I check, the king can't just jump on to e2. Endgames are hard. It's not something that I excel at. So when Liam, my friend and co-streamer, starts to stream, I think a good idea would be getting him to play some in-game practice because he's very, very strong in it. I've been punished more times than I care to remember by Liam in in-games. Shout out to you too, bro, because I imagine you'll watch this tomorrow. Yes, credit given where credit's due. Thinking check. If check. This pawn's super annoying there. Am I fast enough? Can I go here? He goes... No, I can't go there. I go here. He does something. Shuffles the king maybe. I take. He plays here. And then I play there. Bishop can't come and defend. I think I can come pick this pawn up. This bishop's kind of locked by the king. The king's on a good square here, nice and central. Also, when I take this pawn, if he tries to push, I will have a checkmate threat. I do think my opponent's too good to miss that, but I am going to try. So let's give it a go. Whammo. Wait, that's not checkmate? Ah, he can defend. Okay, but... check. What about here? He just promotes. Check. Doesn't work. Ha! Frustrating. Check. He goes here. Then I come down. No. Okay, so I have to come down. I have to deal with this threat. It is an issue. But now I see no way for my opponent to defend this pawn. So we're slowly squeezing him. We're definitely winning. I have to make some big blunders to lose this game. The pawn's going to swing to... the rook's going to swing to a8. The bishop probably comes down now, but it's too late. Rook swings to a8. Now it captures. We got another pawn, but he gets one pawn. Maybe I should have, in that sense, played check first. Actually, that was pretty silly by me. Okay, let's pin this. No. I'm going to play up. If he checks, I'll come over and collect this pawn. Note the king had no escape squares there. Damn, is this just a draw? I think this might be a draw. Is it? We definitely try. Let's cut this king off so it can never come into the game. Maybe something like... Well, there's probably a way to win this. See, this is what I mean. In-game practice. In-games are so confusing. It's one thing winning on tactics, but winning in these positions. I think I was completely winning if I played f2 check when he played bishop b7. I just didn't see that the pawn was under attack. Check, he goes here. Can't play check. Frustrating part is I need to have my king on d3. Maybe I can go the long way. Don't blunder your rook. Oh, here's an idea. Swing the rook over to b2, so it's attacking this point. So if at any stage this bishop's got to come back, I can at least sneaky pick up this pawn. Alright, so who's just going to do it that way? Doesn't have any checks on me, so just looks like I can attack this pawn. No? I might as well pick this pawn up while we can get it. So you attack the bishop, but through the pawn. So let's come through again. Yeah, that's smart. Takes here, and it's my turn here. He goes here, maybe here. He goes here. No, he's just too tucked in. Right. Damn, I think it's just complete. Oh, check. He goes back, and now I take this square. Because he's got no escape squares for the king now. Yeah, this looks promising. Okay, so now play king d3. Yes! Oh! Oh! Sorry if that hurt your earbuds, but I wanted that win so bad. I fought a long time for that battle. Oh, that feels so good. So good. Earned the win. So the problem here is if... Actually, there's no moves for the king has to move off. Oh, so it's instantly check. And when the king moves off, I'm going to promote. Very nice game. I didn't play it perfectly, so let's do it I'll teach us all the analysis. I don't know if you're members. I'm a member. I find it really good. So 85% accuracy is pretty low for my rapid games. I expect of myself to be playing 90 or better percent accuracy in my rapid games. Okay, but we'll go through. So some features of the analysis. One of them is key moments. And it'll take you to key moments that you've played. For example, this first one is D takes C4 is the last book move that I played. So continue, next key moment. And it says rook takes C5 is the best move in the position. So it's the bishop. It's pretty obvious that you have to take with the rook anyway. It's the only move in the position. So sometimes the computer says things like that. Alright, so it's saying rook F to E1 is a mistake. Why is it a mistake? I wonder if it wants F4. So it lets you retry it. I don't know if it will on non-membership accounts, but you'll definitely be able to see it. Yep, and it just wants me to take the pawn on F4. Okay, so... Oh... No? I'm not sure what it wants after that, but we can go into depth a bit later. We'll carry on, next key moment. It doesn't like... No, I didn't like this either. I actually kind of... I felt like I was losing almost once I swung these knights around. What does it want from me? Any suggestions in chat is always helpful. What does it want? It made us be F4 again. No. Doesn't like F4. I'm not too sure. I'm going to take a hint here. Rook. Rook where? Here? Okay. So the queen's attacking my rook. It's just saying just move the rook onto a defended square where nothing's attacking it. Best move? Yeah, this was crafty by me. This won me the game. This tactic. Seeing that the knight is attacking the rook and indirectly this knight is attacking the rook's only good square after check wins the queen. So good find by me. Just bringing your pieces forward into the attack, always good. So it doesn't like rook c2. Nope. Okay, yeah, I contemplated this. These are my two candidate moves. I thought trading the rooks off might be for the best, and the computer's saying it is. Cool. Oh, it didn't like that. What is it saying? Wow. Oh, okay. Check. Moves. And then the same thing. The same idea. But now the bishop can't take the pawn. That's far better. That's where analysis can help. Because I had my mind set so hard on how to defend this pawn, I forgot a simple tactic like rook c1 just protects both these pawns, and I would have had a far different game. It would have been a far easier win. I mean, these pawns actually caused me a lot of stress in the game. Nice. Couple blunders. I do note that it wasn't drawing it in any position, and I thought it would be. and then just completely winning. Made him 5. Fantastic. Stoked with that. That's a really good win. That's the kind of win you want in Rapid. It's hard to grind a massive game and then to lose there. Okay, so does anyone in chat want a game before I call it a night? Oosh. Yeah, alright, mate. Yeah. Is that are we friends on here? What's your username there, Matt? Is that EV is for nerds? Lead chess. I've probably got a lead chess, bro. If you just want to play on there. What is it? Lead chess. Leadchess.org. Sign in. I better just hide my screen. Okay. My lead chess is banana melon. Okay, of course it is. Variant standard, casual rated. Do you want me to just play casual? Unlimited? Okay, I have no idea how to use this site. Community players. Alright, that's got to be... Oh my god. Search. Banana melon. Okay, I'm following you. Is there any way you can send me a challenge, bro? I don't know how to drive this one. Tag Knight is my username. Oh, challenge to game. Okay, no, we're making thing. Standard time control. Real time. Minutes per side. 10 minutes? 10 minutes, bro? That'll do, eh? Increment, we don't need an increment, but I don't know, 10 seconds. Random. Alright, I believe I've sent you a rapid request. Alright, good luck, bro. Right, I'm going to play you in something that I never play. I'm going to go and throw in a Sicilian game. Yeah. Okay, I'll try and remember how to play this. I don't really know a lot about the Sicilian, so forgive me if I play terrible moves. I'm going to learn it though. I do think it's a huge strength for black, and obviously there's so many different lines and stuff. It's going to take me a little bit of prep. I will do a learning session, or even maybe more than one, with Liam, where he teaches me to play the Sicilian, because he is a strong Sicilian player. It's my understanding you're playing for d4 at some stage. Oh, that's quite smooth actually, Lee Chess. Yeah, that feels nice. That's a lot nicer than chess.com's one. Alright, so I guess there's two moves. Oh, there's three. Oh, yeah, maybe we play g6. I want to play g6. I want to keep this open for potentials, and I also want to open this diagonal. I haven't seen you stream in a while, Mac. Do you still stream, bro? You still play your poker? Mac's a very good poker player. He'd be one of the more knowledgeable practice poker players in our region. So he spent a lot of time actually studying and learning the game, and it shows. So if you're into poker, EV is for nerds. Go throw him a follow. Can't hurt, you might enjoy yourself. What's that? Yeah, Max streams. I haven't seen him stream in a while though, so I'm not sure if he's still into it or not. He's actually real good at poker too, Barry. Not that it's very difficult, but far better than me. Yeah, they both are really good. I think Mac was the weaker of the brothers, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's the stronger now. Okay, strikes in the center. Okay, that looks like a pawn. Oh, Zandy. Okay, I haven't seen Zandy play in years. He lives in Christchurch now. He works. At least he was working last time I seen at one of my favourite places down there. I won't say on stream where, but I'd refer to it as one of my happy places. Okay, let's not blunder this knight. Oh, it's not quite a blunder. Actually. Yeah, okay. Let's play. This works, right? Okay, I'm quite liking this. I'm liking the Sicilian. I do absolutely plan on learning it sooner rather than later. I traditionally play the French defence, but I'm getting sick of a really, really, really bad light squared bishop. And if anyone knows the French defence out there, you won't be shocked at that. How's your poker coming, Barry? Are you ready for a game yet? Yeah, chess. Chess. I gave up playing poker a long time ago. Beautiful. Beautiful. You love to see it. You know what? After playing this game, I've decided that I'm only going to play Sicilians from now on. Against e4. Screw it, let's do it. There's only one way to learn, and it's to dive in. It creates very dynamic positions. Honestly, mate, the best way to learn is to play me. Or to play any of the other boys. Anyone with a bit of experience. Because we'll point you in the right direction. If you're doing something horribly wrong, we'll tell you. When you're doing something right, we'll encourage you. It's the best way. It just is. If you want to improve. There's no point playing cabbages, you know what I mean? Screw it, mate. Play a potato. Yeah, that's chess. It's a hard game to master, I'll tell you that much. I've played pretty consistently for the last, I don't know, 4 years, I guess, and I still lose in some awfully simple ways. I didn't think Mac had an escape square for a second. He does have a4, but If you're still in the stream, we can talk about it. So you actually played pretty well. I liked everything you did. Generally, in the Sicilian, you want to be playing d4 sooner rather than later. d4, pawn takes, knight takes. If knight takes, then queen takes, but I won't play that. I want to throw something out to you that you can play, and it's after d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4. Get your bishop out, bring your queen up, and castle long, bro, and then send it on the king side. Especially if your opponent plays g6, get into it. h4, h5, you're already attacking. You've got your bishops attacking down here. Your queen will be indirectly too, and you're going to have a rook here and a queen here and a battery on the d file. So it's a cool, dynamic way to play the Sicilian. It's how I play against the Sicilian. When I do play it, I'm looking for moves and castles long. Now you can't get it every time, but if you can get a castles long game, that's the kind of game you want to play, in my opinion. I think that's how you beat the Sicilian. Thank you very much for the game too, Mac. I love to see you in the stream, man. Again, if you want to watch for the poker, EV is for nerds. Mac is incredibly funny. I really enjoy his company. So, right, I'm going to call it a night there. I can feel the missus wanting to come back into the lounge because unfortunately I'm streaming in there. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it, and thanks for getting amongst the chat. It's really good to see so many different people in there. It means a lot. I hope you enjoyed what you've seen. Yeah, Barry. Yep. I feel you. I agree. Grind that analysis, Mac. That's the best way to learn. You're pretty reasonably rated too, man. 1146. So that's getting good, bro. Just keep it up. Learn some openings. Screw it. Castle long in the Sicilian. Get some dynamic games going. It depends how you play, but you play very aggressive poker, so I'd expect some very aggressive chess. All right. Thanks again.